Hey everyone, how are you? Welcome back. It is Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday. I should know that. I'm sorry, y'all. Humor me a little bit. It's been a while, so my setup is a little different. Y'all already know who I am. Y'all already know what I'm gonna do, right? So y'all just be cool with me. And I didn't know if I was gonna do glasses or not glasses, but we're gonna do glasses today. It's a little bit of a reflection. Y'all gonna be okay. How y'all doing? I missed y'all. I feel like this is the first time I took a whole week off. Like a whole week, legit. So I hope y'all missed me a little. And then I hope that anybody who missed me don't feel like I abandoned them. That is not the goal. I just had to recalibrate. I needed a moment, and so I am back. So how was your holiday? How was your New Year's? Did you enjoy it? Were you with family and friends? Were you not with family and friends? Were you by yourself? Did you do any Zoom parties? Y'all talk to me, anybody who's here. Um, I know you guys probably haven't seen me, so I know it's kind of hard. Hey, Auntie Cynthia, how are you? I love you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. So I am having a good day. It's always adjustment coming back. I wasn't going to tell you guys before I left, but anybody who's on my page kind of know, you saw I just got back from Jamaica. I took a recharge trip to Jamaica to just kind of clear my head. All the precautions were taken. I took 2 COVID tests and showed them to like 17 people, but it was well worth it for me to get out of my house and to be able to regroup. Because I don't know about you all, but when you create in your house, and it's not just work, but it's also everything that you do, you tend to be at your computer for long hours, and it becomes a point where you're not really able to relax. And that was what it was coming for me. Between school, work, doing this live, trying to start a business, and 17 other things, I literally was on my computer for 18 to 20 hours a day. And I was not recharging and I was not resting well. So I just needed to step away for a minute. That's my process. I don't expect you guys all to know that, but I just, that's my process. So just want to make sure that you all understood that's why I did what I did, but I got the recharging that I absolutely needed. And so I do not regret a thing. And so I'm excited to be back with you guys. I'm not going to be on here long. I just wanted to come and let's get back into it. It's time, y'all. So happy 2021. Hey, T. Nicole. You said you got your shirt. I'm so glad you got it. Thank you so much for the support. Also, hey, Kanichi, how are you? Oh my goodness. Thank you all. I really appreciate it. If you didn't hear my last live, I said thank you so much for all the support, you guys. It's been a whirlwind of a year, and I know it's been really hard for a lot of people, but it's been an amazing year for me just because I've just kind of walked into just at least the beginning of who I am, right? Unapologetically, like this is who I am, and this is what I'm trying to do. And if I can help people in any way, which is what I love to do, that's what I'm here for. So I'm so glad you guys are rocking with me. Yay. So happy 2020. See the bloopers. Y'all get all the bloopers on the live. Happy 2021. Y'all, we made it. We made it. We made it. I'm excited for what the new year is presenting. And I know a lot of people are anti-New Year's resolutions. I know a lot of people are like, oh, don't make a resolution, you'll break it. But I just wanted to talk about, instead of us talking about what we're leaving in the old year or into 2020, let's talk about what we're bringing into 2021. The biggest thing I noticed, okay, hold on, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm gonna pause because I forgot that it's a whole holiday. OMG. Hey, y'all. It is a whole holiday. It is my mother, Sherry Johnson's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. I'm going to sing a little bit, y'all. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I'm going to take it to the bridge. Happy birthday. Y'all already know how I am, so I don't care. That's my mother, and she gave me life, and I wouldn't be here without her, from her sacrifices and just loving me. And so, Mom, happy birthday. I know we can't celebrate because of COVID right now, but I just want you to know I love you, and I'm wishing you the year of your dreams. Y'all say happy birthday to my mom. I definitely had to shout her out. That was my bad. I love you, Mom. But yeah, so I honestly feel like sometimes we focus too much on what all happened last year, especially if it was negative. We talk about not bringing new people bringing old people into the new year, not bringing old habits into the new year, not bringing, bad situations or leaving the bad things in the past. But I want to talk about, what are we really bringing into this new year? And why? And you're thinking, well, what's the difference? It's a huge difference. You have to know what you're bringing in, because otherwise you're coming in with this perceived blank slate, and that's not realistic, right? You do not come in with a blank slate. Okay. The reality is that you already have some things that's attached to you. You already have things on how you move. And so instead of us assuming that there's not something that you have, and some people like to call it baggage, and I don't want to use baggage because baggage is a negative connotation. There can be negative things and there can be positive things. The difference is you being able to understand what exactly you have, right? Because if you don't know what you have, then you're walking around and you're not self-aware. Remember, we talked about that word all last year, being self-aware, being able to be able to look at you, evaluate where you are, evaluate the things that you carry. Like, okay, I told you, like, if y'all on an interview and they ask you what your strengths are and your weaknesses, you should be able to articulate that. And they expect you to, right? It used to be a trick question to me. But honestly, you legitimately need to know what your strengths and your weaknesses are. You need an example. I'll give you one. Here, one of my strengths is I'm incredibly good with numbers. Okay. I am really good with numbers. I'm good with, what else am I thinking? I like to talk. And I do believe, I used to think it was a bad thing. I do believe the difference between me just liking to talk is that I talk and I have content behind it, right? I don't talk for the sake of just talking, right? I enjoy a good conversation, but if it's going to be empty, I'd rather not have it. Let me repeat that. I enjoy a good conversation, but if it's going to be empty, I'd rather not. Okay. So to me, there has to be purpose to my communication because I put thought into it. So I think I'm a good communicator. All right. What I'm not good at, I don't believe I'm the best at writing things down all the time. Right. I am not going to say I'm not a writer. What I will say is it's not the thing that's the top of my list. It just doesn't flow for me like that. Right. However, I can do it. It's just not something that normally flows out of me. Right. There are some people that start writing and it just flows and it's just amazing. As soon as they start writing, it's amazing. And that's amazing, but it's not always how it works for me. Hey, Bonnie. And so for me, I legitimately, hey, Leah, I legitimately believe that if we take a inventory of the things that, whether we're right or wrong, that we are good at or where we're not good at, or if we don't even want to talk about skills, let's talk about things that, like, I think I'm a kind person, right? I try to be kind, right? I believe that's what I'm good at. But I might not be the most patient person. You see where I'm going here, y'all, right? I'm going to tell on myself because I don't care, right? Because I believe in you when you're truthful and transparent, you can help somebody else out. I'm not the most patient person, and I work on that every day. I do have patience for certain things. Certain things I have very small patience for. I'm working on that. I'm not bragging on it. I'm being honest about me, right? And when you know what you're bringing into a situation, you can be more aware of it, right? You can be aware of how you move in a situation. That's so important because so many people talk about, oh, throw 2020 away. Oh, I'm done with 2020. I don't want to see anything about it. And what you don't realize is if you don't fix what you're bringing into 2021, baby, your 2021 is going to look exactly the same. Hello? Y'all out there? If you don't fix what you had going on wrong in 2020, your 2021 is going to look exactly the same. And you'll be like, well, no, Paris, everything didn't have anything to do with me. It was so much stuff that happened. Corona happened and Black Lives Matter happened and my friends betrayed me and I lost my job. I understand all of that. But remember when we talked about you can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you react, right? So if that holds true, right? Because we have to believe what we say. If it holds true that you cannot control what happens to you, you can only control how you react to it, then you cannot say things like, well, those things happened to me. And as a result, remember what I said, we're not going to be reactive in 2021. We're going to respond well, not react. React is based off of emotion. Responding is a decision. That's good. Reactions are based off of emotion. It's whatever you do to me, I react. But responding takes thought. Responding takes you to pause for a second and make a decision. Responding is a decision. That's what I want to convey to you, that we don't have you don't have to keep on acting like life is such a, we have to be careful with how we say things because we legitimately believe, oh, we can't control life and life is just whirlwind in this ocean. You're just on it. Listen, I understand you can't control how things happen, but you absolutely can control how you react. And I don't even want to use the word. And that react, again, is how you act in response to an event. I don't want you to act like it's just out of control. It's not. That is a choice. It's 100% a choice. I was even talking to somebody the other day. Happiness. You choose to be happy. Sorry, it's true. Now, I understand. Hey, Tracy, I understand that, there are people that suffer with chronic depression, and y'all know how I feel about mental health. So if there's something that you cannot control and is beyond what you believe that you can make a decision about, then I absolutely believe you need to go see a doctor about that. You need to address it because it could be a chemical imbalance. It could be situational, or what we talked about, chemical-based depression. Any of those things, and nothing's wrong with that. You just need to know. So if you cannot control it, if it's overwhelming, then it's something that's probably more than just a regular thing. You need to go see somebody about it. Just as the way if you have some type of bump on your skin and it's not normal, you would go see a doctor about it. Same thing. Let's stop making it spooky. Just go see somebody about it, right? But if you can take a second and think about what you're doing, then you'll realize that you totally can control how you react to it. And then you'll put the onus back on yourself for how you respond. I don't allow my son to tell me, well, so-and-so did this to me, that's why I did this. And I said, I don't really care what they did. Well, Mom, it matters. It really doesn't matter. Mom, yes, it does. They did this, and because I did that. Now, I do want to know, because it could be something that's an abusive thing, right? Somebody could hit him or something, and I 100%, hey, JC, I 100% believe he should defend himself. However, even then, even in defending yourself, you make a decision to defend yourself. Now, I'm a different type of mom. I say, if somebody hits you, you should hit them back. That's how I feel personally. However, there are exceptions to every rule. Like if his teacher hits him, I don't want him to hit the teacher back. But if his teacher keeps on hitting him and nobody's stopping them, defend yourself so you're not hurt. Or, for example, if somebody that is disabled is hitting you, I don't want you to hit a disabled person. But if they're hurting you and you cannot like get a break, then defend yourself. But it's always, things. If, back when I did corporal punishment, if I was to, don't you hit me back. But that's why also the things that you do, you shift them because you want to be clear about what you're saying, what message you're sending, right? And one thing I always tell him is, you have a choice. If somebody makes you mad, you have a choice. So how about this? How about we bring into 2021 the realization, the normalization of us making choices. Life is a series of choices, right or left, up or down, a little bit or a lot, to do it or not to do it. Okay. To extend grace or to not extend grace. These are all choices. These are all choices, and you have to look at it that way. Otherwise, you will walk into 2021 and it might look different because maybe, you're not dealing with some of the exact same things. But I promise you, if you don't deal with what you're carrying, it will just look and it will feel the same, right? Have you ever been in a situation with somebody and you're like, I know that I've never been in this situation with you, but I know I've been in this situation. And so it feels similar. You know why? Because you're in a similar mind space. You're in a similar emotional space. You're in a similar, could be a physical space, right? Like I find sometimes when life is getting extremely hard and I haven't dealt with my part of it, I end up being exhausted, right? That's for me. Exhaustion is mental, right? And emotional, but it manifests physically, right? Exhaustion is mental and emotional for me, but it manifests physically. And so then there you go. When I remember I talked about all this stuff is interconnected. All of it. To be a whole person, all of it's interconnected. You need to address all of it. It should not be one or the other. It needs to be a realization that all of these systems engage to make a complete you, right? So you can't ignore any of them. Okay. I hope this is making sense to you. I'm trying to break it down because we can't talk about vision boards. Someone said something the other day that was it was so good. They said, if you don't heal and deal with your trauma, you can make 100 vision boards and it's not going to manifest because it's the equivalent of eating 100 Big Macs, but working out for 15 minutes a day. You're putting in more garbage. You're maintaining the garbage standards you had, and you're only chipping away. It's not going to make any difference. Yes, I can say all the affirmations I want, but if I don't change the underlying toxic nature, the underlying dysfunctional nature that I've been operating under, if I don't deal with that, you can speak all the affirmations you want. Nothing's going to change. And I'm not trying to be negative. I'm being realistic. I believe you can speak a thing and it can transform. I believe that. But I also believe with speaking, you also have to put action behind some of these things, right? I'm not saying you got to change everything today. I'm saying you have to have the will. You have to have the desire. I'll give you an example. I've been on a weight loss journey for a long time, right? And some people might say, oh, you're a yo-yo dieter. You somebody to try this, try that, and that. And I understand that, right? I understand why people think that. I understand what their thought process is. But this is one problem I have with people that say that. If me and you are both struggling with a weight situation, you think you're doing better because you don't try and you accept what your fate is, which if you are unhealthy, eating unhealthy, not exercising, and you're obese, that is a life of illness and it's going to lead to premature death. Let's just be honest about it, right? Okay. And I'm saying this as a plus size lady. Okay. Y'all see all of me. Y'all see my pictures. I'm not a small lady. However, I make a conscious decision about pursuing my health. I make a conscious decision about pursuing getting my weight down. I make a conscious decision about things I put into my mouth because I know they're important. And I don't care how many times I fall. The thing that matters is how many times I get up, how many times I try. And I think that we have to stop villainizing the person that keeps failing when you the person that just won't ever do anything. I'd rather fail 100 times and get up 101 than to fail 2 times and say, well, you know what? I've been there, done that. I'm not trying anymore. I'm just going to embrace myself. And it's just who I am. I have a problem with that. I do. And this is not being judgmental, because let me talk about that, because I don't want to have to be careful. I'm not body shaming, because again, I love all of me. And if you know me, I embrace all of this. I'm not going to tell you how much I weigh, but I embrace all of it. She is fine. She is cute. She's amazing as she is. I am enough. Okay. And you are as well. And I want you to believe that, because it's true. But I tell you about the mutually exclusive thing. It doesn't have to be, I am this way and I love myself as I am. I'm content and I love all of me right here in this moment. I don't have to wait to lose any weight. I love me as I am. That's true. It can also be true in the same sentence that I'm working on being a better version of me, because I want to be around for a long time. I'm working on being a better version of me because I'm trying to, I have destiny to fulfill. I have a legacy to leave. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You don't have to be bold and, confident about your figure and then and then feel bad about working out. No, I had somebody try to shame me before. I thought you were confident in who you are. I thought you loved yourself as you were. And I'm like, I still do. I do. But I also love me right now. Like, I'm not waiting to love me. See, some people hate themselves now. And then they're like, oh, when I lose this weight, I'm going to love me. And that's not true, right? It's not. You're not. It doesn't switch like that. You have to love you now. And part of love is an action word. Part of love is I love myself enough to love me here, but to realize that if I don't fix some of this temple, that I'm going to have problems that I might not be able to control later on down the line. I love me enough to take care of my temple. That's what it means. I love my temple as it is. But you know what? Just like a car, you put the wrong gas in the car, or you don't do the oil changes, you don't do the maintenance, your car is going to break down on you. Same thing with your body. You're not giving your body the things it needs, it's going to break down on you. And this is my personal struggle. Obesity is your body breaking down on you. Yeah, I can wear it well all day. I can tell you, listen, I can show you where to shop, what to do with it, and I can tell you a couple people that like it. Okay? But y'all know I'm silly. But it ain't about them. And it's about me. And it's about how I want to be the best version of me possible. So I don't care if I fall 50 times. I'm going to keep on trying, because this is a journey. You don't jump off. Do I want to master this thing one day? Yes, but I don't even know what master means. Because even if I lose weight and keep it off for 10 years, it's still a daily struggle for you to work on yourself. Now, that was an example talking about weight loss. What else could you apply there, right? What about financial literacy? I know it's a lot of y'all that sit here and say, well, Sally Mae knock at my door and I'm never going to get out of debt, so I'm not going to even try it. Oh, I worked all my life, and so I deserve to have something, so I'm going to spend what I have, and this is what it is. I'm going to just always be in debt. Well, yeah, I understand. Sally Mae and the system for the student loans is unfair, and it's not cool, and it puts you in debt that you didn't expect to be in. I understand that. You work hard every day, and you feel like sometimes you don't have a way forward. I get that. But I believe that I believe strongly in self-care. I strongly believe in doing something for yourself. I 100% do. But the difference between spending $100 every week on some spa treatment versus running yourself a nice bath with Epsom salt and cooking yourself a nice meal, both are self-care. One costs $100 every week. One might cost $3 every week. Still self-care, but you make a decision and you don't cop out of, oh, I'll never get out of debt, so I'm just not gonna even try. Or I deserve this. I worked all my life. I deserve to just splurge on whatever I want to. But how are you living from day to day? If you splurge all the time and you have no savings, if y'all out here not having no savings for an emergency fund, then no, you are in bad financial health. And you know what? I'm gonna eventually talk about that on a separate thing, not on conversations, but I really believe that is something that we suffer from. And we say stuff like, oh, well, I just never get out of debt, so I'm never gonna try. That's not responsible. Come on. We want to be a better version of ourselves, right? And then you're the same person that might complain or something if you can't get what you need to in an emergency. This is not me bashing anybody. Please believe it. Please believe it. This is me saying that let's take some ownership for things that happen in our life, and we won't feel like we're so out of control. Sometimes we put so much of what happens and how we react to it in this big ball in the sky as though we can't do anything with it. And I just believe that if we take the power back, we can start to do some amazing things, right? Really can start to do some amazing things. Hey, Aaron. So I talked about like financial. I think I gave an example of like physical. Let me give an example of emotional. We talk about boundaries all the time, right? Y'all know I love boundaries. Boundaries are amazing. And when I talk about boundaries, I really need you to hear that putting up some good boundaries will allow you to be emotionally fit. You won't be always exhausted if you put a boundary around your time. Okay? Hey, Deborah, how are you? You won't be exhausted all the time if you realize that there are some people that don't really want help, but they just want to pull on you. Or they want to be negative, or every time they call you, they want to gossip, or they want to talk about somebody. Or the only time that they want to do something is when it's like, something that you're not even like involved in anymore. And because you're nice, because they're your friend, because they're your family, you feel obligated to do it. Yeah. Okay. So in 2021, how about we put up boundaries? How about we protect our peace? How about we make a decision about the things that we want to do and don't apologize about it? I know this triggers you. I know it triggers you. It triggered me for a very long time. I know it feels unkind. I know it feels harsh. I know it feels mean. But I'm telling you, we were not taught autonomy. Okay? We were not taught what it means to have our own body and our own time and our own self and to own it. We were not taught that that was okay. We were taught that was selfish. Come on. Yeah. Most of us didn't have our own bedroom growing up. Most of us had to share bedrooms. Most of us had to share food. Most of us were taught to be kind and share. And nothing's wrong with sharing. Sharing is amazing. It's great. It builds character. But in that, right? In that sharing, the lesson that we had to learn with that, I think sometimes we lose the fact that it's okay to be an individual. We lose the fact that it's okay to own your own space. We lose the fact that it's okay to have your own personal time and not have to share it with anybody. Matter of fact, we do such a bad job at it, we don't teach our kids it. Okay? We don't teach our kids. And so when somebody touches them, we sometimes in certain places we make it okay for, and I've done this before. So I'm saying that this is something I've done and I didn't realize I was doing it. When somebody comes into your space and they take your things, like I've made my son be nice to them. Oh, don't. If somebody took his toys before, oh, don't, just let him. You can play with him whenever you want to. Be nice, be nice, be nice. And now I think about it. What I told him is that, and what I taught him in that moment is that his stuff, he's not protected. And somebody can come and do whatever they want, and he just has to sit back and take it. I didn't realize I was doing that. I thought I was showing him how to share. I could have handled that differently, right? I don't beat myself up about it anymore, but I like to go back and think about things and try to figure out, like, where did this come from? Like, what does this lack of autonomy come from, right? And I realized that it's a very necessary thing. It's not easy to do, but we have to assert it. Deborah, you said something good. Y'all, her name is Jonette on here. She said, when I finally started putting up boundaries, I finally realized who was keeping me around for necessity. Woo, girl, you spoke a whole word there. It hurt, but I'm glad that I learned the truth. Sis, that's it. That's it. That's a lot of it. People keep you around when they need you. And people want you to feel good about that. Like, oh, I need you. I need you. And let me go a step further. There are people that's a whole nother laugh. But it's hurtful to know that people were keeping you around because they needed something from you. And the easiest way to know that is when you tell them no. That's the fastest way you find out if people are having you around because they need you. Baby, put a whole no on that thing and see how people switch up on you. See how quick that switch up is. And I'm not saying it to tell you to get rid of people. I'm saying it, sometimes we can't see clearly. Sometimes we have blinders on. Sometimes we're so nice that we turn that little voice off, that little nagging voice, which I call discernment, which, I also is the Holy Spirit, if you believe in that. But if your what they call women's intuition, whatever you want to, my gut feeling, however you want to call it, like that thing, you have to sometimes quiet all the noise around you to hear it. Because sometimes you keep ignoring it so much, you don't notice it is like talking to you. Okay. And so because you don't notice, sometimes it got to hit you in the head. It got to hit you in the head because you've been letting all these little nagging, oh, hey, I'm trying to get your attention. Hey. You ignored all that. You didn't feel none of that. So yeah, I got to pump you in the top of your head so that you can hear it. It's not always easy, and it's hurtful a lot of times. But if you think back to it, you can say, oh, well, yeah, I did notice that. Oh, well, yeah, I did notice that. Oh, well, and the reality is what you realize is that nobody is a bigger advocate for you than you. Nobody is a bigger advocate for you than you. It doesn't mean, like, some people walk around and say, well, that's why I don't trust nobody. And that's why I don't have no friends. Nope, that doesn't mean that either. Rejected Rebecca. I tried to make something rhyme. Rejected Rebecca. That didn't work out. Rejected Roxy. I don't know. I'm going to find something. But that's from a place of rejection that you say no new friends, right? You don't want to make friends because everybody going to stab you in the back. Listen, baby, we all been hurt. We have all been hurt. Every last person, if you've ever loved somebody, if you've ever been vulnerable, I guarantee you've been hurt. It doesn't matter how big or small. It's not for me to quantify. I guarantee everybody has felt hurt and rejection. It's going to happen. While you're living, it's going to happen. You cannot avoid it. The most that you can do is you could try to lower the risk of it, but you can't avoid it. You ever heard that saying, it's better than to have loved and to lost than to not have loved at all? It's true. And people don't believe it. But the reason that you don't believe it is because you've been hurt so much. Sometimes you just want to protect yourself. You don't feel protected. You don't like the way you felt. You haven't healed from the first time you were hurt. And so every time it happens, it knocks you down a peg. So that's what it is, right? But you cannot close yourself off to it because we need relationships. Tracy, that's absolutely amazing that you said that. boundaries, when used appropriately, can be life-giving. Absolutely. We always make boundaries seem like they're just a negative thing. You know why? Because we just are not used to autonomy and being able to have our own stuff. But we legitimately have to be able to say, this is me. And guess what? I have the right to say what's in my space. I have the right to say what's in my space. Like, don't you control what happens in your house? Well, just the same way you're controlling your house, you have a house around you. Mentally, emotionally, physically, your space is your own and you have a right to it. And if somebody's disrupting your peace, if somebody's bringing trauma and with toxic nature, dysfunction around you, if somebody's being negative, you have the right. And not only do you have the right, I'm going to go a step further. It is your duty to make sure that no one comes into your space with negative. That's the same thing. If you can't tell me somebody going to come in my house and be cussing and fighting and doing all this stuff. No. If I know they're doing that outside, I'm not letting them in my house. I'm not letting you in my house to mess my house up. No. I will stop you at the door. No. Sorry. So sorry. You can't come in here with that. Not in my house. And I'll fight to keep you out of it. Because I maintain the peace in my house. It's my house. It's the same thing, y'all. Well, that's what boundaries are. It's to tell people, hey, you don't get to live in my head. You don't get to be in my space. I don't have to be in relationship with you if you're toxic. I don't have to be in relationship with you if you're being negative. I don't. And I don't care if that's your best friend. I don't care if it's any of your friends that you've known for 20 years. I don't care if it's your kids. Let them be toxic enough. You're going to figure that out too. Because sometimes we got adult kids that's doing stuff, or not even adult kids, teenage kids that are doing things that's borderline abusive, and you taking it because you think it's nothing else you can do. It's always something you can do. Okay? I don't care if it's your spouse. I don't care if it is your parents. I don't care if it's your family members. If somebody is being abusive to you, if somebody is toxic and dysfunctional, you have right to put a boundary there. I'm not saying cut them off. I'm not saying don't talk to them, but you have a right. Matter of fact, it's your duty to keep your space. Because guess what? If you go ahead and you have a nervous breakdown, if you go ahead and you literally lose it all, they're going to say, oh, you should have taken care of yourself better. Oh, you should have not let all that things happen. And you're going to be like, you did some of it. But they're not self-aware enough for them to see that they're part of the problem too. So I'm trying to tell you, you have to. You're responsible to keep your house good. You can't let 20 people come in your house and tear it up and then be like, oh, they tore my house up. You still got to clean the house up. It's your responsibility because you let them in and do it. The best thing you can do is keep them from coming in there with all that mess, and you know they were doing that mess before they got in the house in the first place. I don't know how I got to boundaries, but maybe it's because we were talking about 2020 and going to 2021. What are you bringing into the new year? I hope you're bringing you some boundaries. Come on, y'all. I hope you bring in some boundaries. I hope you bring in positivity. I hope you are bringing in doing some work, y'all. We talk about wanting just the results, but what about the work? We want the results, but we despise the process. The process is necessary. You learn so much. You grow so much from the process. Yeah, processing does not always feel good. Processing doesn't always is not always pretty. But I promise you, what you learn in the process is far more important than we give it credit for. I was talking to somebody the other day about certain things I've been through. And to me, it was just life. It's just stuff that happened. And they was like, wow, you got that from that. And you were able to do this and apply that. And I'm like, well, yeah. And they were like, you need to, write that down. And I was just like, And then I started to think about it. Certain things I've been through, the process of it was painful at the time, but it absolutely grew me. And it absolutely made me who I am today. And I'm grateful for that process, even though I don't know if I was able to say it in that moment. And I don't know if something that was truly bad to happen to me right now, if I would have the same thought process. I will say I am more mature. I am more mature to say, you know what, that hurts. This doesn't feel good. But I have to believe that it's going to all work out. I have to believe if I respond well. I have to believe if I do the work. I have to believe that if who I am, who I think I am, if I am who he says I am, then I'll be fine and all things will work together for the good. Right? Oh, and yes, Tracy, I didn't ignore you. Rejection, a topic to explore. Yes, listen, you already know. I think that's going to be one that we talk about soon because that thing is deep. The roots of rejection, honey, shows up in everything you do, shows up in everything that you do. So, yeah, y'all, it is 2021. I'm excited to be here, y'all. I'm excited to be in this year. I believe that the world is our oyster. I believe that life is what you make it. I believe that it's so many things that are out here. And honestly, your accessibility to it, your access to it is legitimately all here. It starts here. You literally are the author of how far you can go. You have to be able to imagine it. You have to be able to think it. You have to be willing to roll up your sleeves and do some work. You have to be willing to be transparent. You have to be willing to look at you. Put that mirror up to you and sit and look at it. I took some pictures, y'all. Y'all saw the good pictures. The pictures that wasn't so good, y'all ain't never gonna see them. And I saw some pictures. It was a harsh reality, but I said, okay, you think I was gonna cry about it? No. Okay, I don't like what I see. Let me do something about it. So what am I doing? Something about it. That's it. That's it. That's all. You don't get mad when something bad is revealed to you. If you realize you somebody that's a gossiper, I realized I was. But start making little changes. Start saying no to certain conversations. When you think about something, you want to talk about it, instead of calling who you normally call, sit and think about it. Take a deep breath. Say something positive about it. Think about another way you can kind of get it out. If you don't like your financial situation, sit down with a budget. Research some, credit repair services. Look at what it looks like to pay off a mortgage early. Yeah, it's stuff you can do. It's always something you can do. If you stopped a dream from a long time ago, why not pick it back up? You're not too old. Nobody watching you is too old. If you're still alive, you are not too old. You are not too poor. You're not ill-equipped. You can learn anything. Your brain still works. It's all here. You have to believe you can do it. You really do. So here's to an amazing 2021. I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited just to get this year started. I think it's going to be some amazing things to happen. And I'm not just for me, but for you. I'm excited for this journey, y'all. I want y'all to get pumped. I want y'all to get excited. I want you to believe and remember, and have like that childlike faith. I want you to look like a 3-year-old when they look at Santa Claus or a unicorn and they really believe it exists. That's how you really need to start believing, because honestly, I'm sorry, that's my cat falling off of something. You can do anything. So I love you all. Y'all know I do. Definitely said my son makes you want to learn how to roller skate. Girl, listen. And I'm tired of people talking about they can't roller skate because they're too old. I know people who roller skate that's 75 years old. I know somebody that didn't start skating until they were 55. So no excuses, y'all. I know somebody who had back surgery and then was on skates a couple weeks later. If you don't want to do it, just say you don't want to do it. But don't say you can't do it. And I'm not talking about you, Deborah. I'm just saying a lot of people ask me about the skating thing, y'all. Just go out and do it. Just go out and try it. I promise you. You take some precautions and you can do anything you put your mind to. You legitimately can do anything you put your mind to. So, Deborah, yes, we got to talk about it. I love to skate. I need to skate more, but yeah. I love you all. Thanks for rocking with me today. It's good to be back. I got some exciting things coming up this year. Exciting things. Let's see. You are enough. Y'all know I'm going to say that because you are, because I'm going to say it till you believe it. I'm going to say it every single time until you start to really feel it and believe it in your head. And then maybe you start doing things that like match up with it, believing you are enough, like pursuing your dreams, going back, trying to pick up a skill or, demanding more of a relationship that's not serving you. Yeah. Putting up some boundaries, all that stuff. When you start to believe you're enough, you'll do those things. So you are enough. Enough for me to love you, enough for God to love you. And let's see. Oh, don't forget, go to my website when you get a chance, www.parispjohnson.com. If you haven't grabbed you a shirt, here's my Embrace the Peculiar. I love it. You see that definition, distinctive in nature or character. Absolutely. I really love that one. I really do. I've been peculiar all my life, and the faster I embraced it, the easier life I got. Because guess what? It's one Paris. You're not going to find another one like me. And guess what? I'm going to find nobody like you, Deborah. And I won't find anybody like you, Tracy. And I won't find anybody like you, Leah. Because guess what? We're all made and we're like fingerprints. So like a fingerprint. Nobody else like us. And that's amazing. That's a great thing. It's an amazing thing. So, yep, that's what I wanted to say. And, oh yes, like I said, go to my website. Y'all, I didn't take it down yet. I meant to take it down, but I think I'm gonna leave it up to the end of the week. My buy one shirt, get one free. I meant to take it down before I left for Jamaica and I forgot to do it. So if you didn't get a chance to do it and you still want to go ahead, I'm feeling generous. I mean, you can't beat that. First of all, one t-shirt for $20 is amazing. But I'm telling you, buy one, get one free. So you get two t-shirts for $20 and you can get it shipped all over the United States for $5.99. Tell me where you can get a better deal. And I just want y'all to believe that you're enough. So go ahead and give it to your niece, to your daughter, mother, to your friend, whoever. Just spread the love. Because I don't think you realize how many people really don't believe that. And if you really believed, if you really knew how many people don't have any self-confidence, if you really believed how many people that don't believe they're enough, you would be as passionate as I was. I don't expect you to, so I'm going to keep on pushing it. But if you don't know, why don't you buy for somebody? You'll be surprised what type of reaction you get. I get somebody stop me every time I wear the shirt, and they're just like, man, that's powerful, because so a lot of people just don't really believe it. So I love you all. I really do. I really, really love you all. You all have an amazing rest of the evening. I will see you guys on Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Catch me. I don't know if you're on Facebook or you're catching me on YouTube, but either way, catch me and we'll chop it up again. All right. Have a good evening. Bye.